Hey, I'm Eric from Smoke and Disciple here, and today I'm going to be grilling some pork. Well, not grilling, I'm going to be smoking some pork steaks. So, a little background story about me. I fell in love with barbecue when I lived in Texas for about 6 years, and ever since then, the flavors of barbecue really spoke to me. I'm from the upper Midwest originally, so I never had a lot of barbecue in my life until I moved deep south. So, specifically in the Houston metro area where I started falling in love with barbecue. So different things, brisket was huge, beef was huge, pork was really great there too. So I just started, loving tasting, some of the top 50 barbecue places in Texas, and that's where my deep love for smoking meat came into play. But I'm no, shy person when it comes to just smoked things because I grew up, love the smell of wood fire smoke in general, and just love being around a wood fire. And I think that's where part of that from my childhood met with doing it over with meat and food. That's where that all just kind of came together to where now I just love smoking meat, grilling meat on Smoke and Disciple here. We're going to be doing not only smoked things, grilled things, Blackstone, griddle tops, that sort of stuff, but it's just a whole general idea of just outdoor cooking. That's my main focus here. So I'm going to be tackling one thing that's huge in the Midwest here with pork steaks today, and we're going to be going over a bunch of different things along our journey, recipes that I've learned, things that I found that worked really well. I'm pretty critical when it comes to things and how they taste. So, even my wife can tell you, I'm very critical at how things taste, and I'm always critiquing what could I do better. So I know this passion started where I started smoking myself stuff probably about a year ago now, and it's just kind of grown since then, and she can even tell you it's grown quite a bit. So one of the things today I'm going to be tackling, like I said, these pork steaks. I'm going to smoke them instead of the traditional way of grilling them over like charcoal grill and stuff, or even propane. This is going to be a low and slow recipe. It's going to approximately take probably about 2 hours, 15 minutes, somewhere in that ballpark. And the one thing with barbecue, we can estimate, but there's no guarantee it's going to exactly take that time because there's a bunch of different variables that can deter like how long something actually cooks and how much fat is in the meat. So we'll go over that journey together. So right now I'm going to go over how to season it and everything from start to finish here. So stay tuned. We're going to keep on trucking along here, and I'm going to get you in for a close shot of just how to season this. Here are the pork steaks here, so I'm going to show you just how to season all this here. Usually you want to use a binder here. That's going to help with all the seasoning to adhere to these, proteins here, specifically these pork steaks. If you don't know, pork steaks actually come from a pork shoulder, aka pork butt, that some people, they don't know the difference with that, or a Boston butt. These are actually cut from that piece of meat into steaks. AKA that's where they come from. Right now I'm just lathering them. You're not going to really taste this when it comes to, flavor wise. You're not going to have a mustard flavor on these. So it's going to be okay to just have a binder to this. You don't have to. It's just going to be really helpful today to get that to adhere there. I'm trying to get this off right now. This is a brand new pack. It's from Traeger Pork and Poultry Rubs. So a lot of that, it's going to be, really good to put on this. It's got some apple and honey flavors, works really good for pork steaks or just pork butt in general. So a lot of times this is something that's going to be the best seasoning for that here. So I'm going to get this off real quick and I'll show you how to season these here. So as I'm getting this label off real quick, let's get this back on here. So I'll show you how to go along here. So what you want to do is have a nice even coat, getting this here. Flip this over, kind of pat your seasoning down. You want to have this adhere properly. Kind of evenly spread it along your protein here. That's going to be key to getting best flavor for it. You see how these edges, you also want to season those because, do it like a pro. They're going to be seasoning every single piece of this meat here. So you definitely want to get more of that flavor into this meat. And this meat, it's going to be able to take all this seasoning here. So some people are like, oh my word, is that a lot? No, it can take all this lovely seasoning you're putting on here. So as we're going along here, making sure to get a lot of these edges if they didn't get it. And this is a pretty thin cut too, so this actually might get done a little sooner than intended, but we're gonna, put a probe in it, make sure it's not going over the limit, because you don't want to overcook these either. So I'm getting all seasoning adhered. I'm using the Drip Easy, the biggest XL one here. As you can see, if you don't know, they are very, very handy for seasoning proteins and stuff. So what it does is this thing can actually come up if you want to, and it comes higher than this, but so if you're having a big shot or a big brisket or something in this, it really helps with keeping a lot of that in. Today, I didn't have to go too far up, so I figured I'm gonna just keep this shot down and just get the seasoning in here. I'm not making too big of a mess today. So yeah, I'm gonna let this adhere for about 15-20 minutes. Well, now we've been waiting for about 15 minutes. The seasoning has adhered to the pork steaks. I'm using a Traeger Woodridge Pro. That's what I have started out with. It was a gift from my wife to start cooking. Honestly, I've had this for a little over a year. It works wonderful. Right now, I have the setting at 180 degrees with the super smoke mode. If any of your pellet smokers have a super smoke or a heavier smoke mode, it's great to add extra smoke flavor to that as well. So today, for the pellets that I'm using, is going to be Smoky Woods hickory blend pellets. A lot of times, most of my stuff I get from acehardware, so I'll have some links for different things that I've been using today down below there. So if you got any questions or anything, just comment underneath and I can answer those as quick as I can. So today I'm going to open up this grill here. We're going to get those suckers on. Oh yeah. So approximately, this is going to probably take roughly about an hour and a half or so to smoke. I'm going to keep an eye on temperatures. It might not go the full hour and a half. And then at that hour and a half, I'm going to foil boat these things and crank the heat to about 225 as well. So right now, they're looking great. I got them on just evenly here. I'm going to start the smoke setting here, and it's going to go for about an hour and a half or so, okay? I'll see you. It's been about an hour and a half right now since, they've been on here smoking heavy smoke at 180 degrees. The next step in our process right now is to grab these and wrap these for about the next 45 minutes or so. The thing I'm going to add to these each is a little bit of maple syrup just to get some of that sweetness in. So normally it would call for a little apple juice. I don't have any on hand, so I'm going to add a little maple syrup and then basically wrap these for the next 45 minutes. But what I'm going to end up doing is adding just water to it to help with that. But the main goal here is you're trying to push it to getting close to 160 is the goal temp on these. I'm just going to add a little bit to each of these, just some moisture and water here. Nothing too heavy, just enough to help continue cooking these here. And the goal is, again, get them to 160 degrees. Should take about 140, or not 140, about 45 minutes or so in this state to continue cooking them. So all I'm going to do again, these other two pork steaks I have, I'm going to lay this out, wrap these as well, put each of these on here every so often, and just continue on my way with this. I'm going to close this so heat's retaining here. What I'm also going to do is increase the temp to about 225 for that next 45 minutes here. So that's going to help with pushing it over the hump, so to speak. So what I'm going to do, got that maple syrup on. I'm going to wrap this here, and then kind of make sure they're tight when wrapping as well. You don't want it to be too overly roomy here. The goal is you want to heat these quick and fast, where there's not too much room for it to continue to steam here. So make sure they're nice and tight and snug here. And if you guys have any ideas of what how you cook these, let me know in the comments below here. I'm always new to seeing different ideas. But yeah, this is kind of what I've seen on some of the recipes to continue to cook them. We got that heavy smoke on, and some people may ask, well, when you wrap them, doesn't smoke stop? Yes. At a certain point, there's going to be a little more smoke coming on these now, because you're wrapping them in foil here. If you're still wanting to continue to cook them to get maybe more smoke on these, I would probably do like butcher paper or something like that to, get a little bit of more smoke on it. But a lot of times with pork, ribs, pork butt, the goal is basically foiling these to get them to a certain temperature. You're just trying to heat them up to that goal temp at this point, because you got all the smoke that honestly the meat will take. Usually about 140, 145 is when things stop taking smoke. We're probably close to that at this point, but again, let's continue to push these and get it to a goal temp of close to 150, 160, because after that 45 minutes, what I'm going to do is pull them off and put them directly on the grate again, just to continue to cook them, and then I'm going to sauce them at the end and tack them up. So I'll see you here in a little bit. All right, it's been about 45 minutes right now, so what I'm going to do is unwrap these, see what temperature they're at. They should be getting pretty close, pretty done here. So I use a thermal pin a lot of times to do an instant read check. I use sometimes the probes that come with this, but a lot of times if I just want an instant read, this is kind of the best indicator for it. Right now, we're almost at the done point for these currently. So at this point, I'm just taking them out of this thing, putting it back on here just like that. But yeah, I'm gonna let these probably dry a little bit more here for the next 15 or so minutes. I'm gonna keep an eye on things here, but overall, I just want them to get to the done temperature of 160. We're about 150, 155 here. So yeah, goal is just get these to temp, and then afterwards we'll sauce these up. So I'll see you here in a little bit. All right, let's check. It's been at least 15 minutes here. Let's see what the temperatures are holding. Yeah, they're doing pretty good right now. But yeah, that 160 mark, I know when we pull them off, they were doing pretty good here. Yeah, they're doing pretty good. At this point, they're pretty well done. I'm gonna take these off here, and all you have to do at this point is sauce them up. So the sauce I'm using today is Traeger's own Traeger Q, it's called. It's their most common sauce they make. So it's got a little smoky, savory, sweet a little bit in there. It's really good on anything pork, honestly. I mean, shoot, they even got the own little Porky Pig on there kind of guy. So yeah, it's their classic barbecue sauce. So at this point, all you have to do is just sauce these up. So usually for something like this, it calls about a cup or so. So at this point, I'm just gonna sauce these bad boys up, get enough sauce on them, flip it over here too, it said, and then we're gonna let them set for a few minutes as well. Let's get those sauced up here, and I'm gonna pull these off here too. Let's get those here, let that sauce sit here. So I'm gonna get a couple more on here as well, just saucing these things up, and then we'll try them, take a bite, see what we think. I've never made pork steaks. I've done all the other meats, but this is kind of like a twist on St. Louis Classic, where usually, like I said at the beginning, they do more over charcoal fire to get a nice sear on them. But this take is just doing a smoke method with some sauce on them, and they still sauce them at the end there, but the main thing here is adding a little extra smoke flavor instead of just the typical hot and fast recipes that I've seen before. So, I smoke pork butt all the time, so it's like, why not add this little twist to it? I think on Traeger's website too, they have this recipe as well. So I seen it and I was like, well, why not try it? See how this turns out, So comment down below if you've ever done something like this as well. You might have, it might be a different type of recipe here. So just let me know. I always am willing to learn different recipes here. So it's like, yeah, let me know what you think. I'm gonna close that lid here. I'm gonna let these just tack up for a few minutes and we will take a bite here shortly. All right, well, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and after I get these done, we'll let them set for a bit, see how they're tasting. Okay, well, I hope you guys have a good one, and we'll see you on that next one. I'm about to try this one here. So as you can see, this actually has a pretty good smoke ring here. I'm gonna take a bite and see what I think of this. Wow, that's got a lot of flavor, perfect amount of smoke in it, great amount of sauce on there. So this recipe, definitely a thumbs up from me. Definitely will be doing this again. I hope you guys have a better rest of your day, and we'll see you on the next one.